staying for the second concert, you're welcome. You'll get more musical talent. We are about to begin our spring orchestra concert. Many thanks and shout outs to Mr. Gilbert, who is support and encouragement of Mr. Gilbert. Our fine string musicians are learning a tremendous amount of skills and strategies, as well as specific targeted vocabulary that is associated with the performing arts. So what you're about to witness is really like their final assessment. This is like their test when it comes to the performing arts. This is where they show all the skills and strategies that they've learned as young performers, and we know that you are going to enjoy it. The first group that you're about to hear is our Orchestra, which is actually a before-school activity that occurs here at S.M.S. So S.M.S. is a thriving performing arts community, as you can tell, and I hope that you enjoy the orchestra performance that you're about to hear. So, Mr. Gilbert, take it.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Mrs. Mangoni. And now to introduce our very first song, I'm going to call up Nico Gardel and Elizabeth Alonso Javier. Nico first and then Elizabeth. But you guys both come on.
We're going to bring you a true music legend, Thriller by Michael Jackson, released in 1982. This iconic song has captivated audiences for decades, and tonight we're giving it an exciting twist with the full power of orchestra.
The version that we are performing was arranged by Robert Lockfield. This piece has a rock beat and the strings use tremolo to set a spooky mood. Tremolo is an ornamentation technique in music that creates a wavering or pulsing effect by repeatedly playing a note using either the same or slightly different pitches. Kick back and relax as we play Thriller.
The next ensemble that you're going to be hearing tonight is our chamber orchestra. Aaliyah Gosselin will be introducing the first song.
Zarabanda by Enrique Granados is an energetic, exciting piece. Originally written as a dance tune, this Spanish piece, composed in the early 1900s, includes a main theme played in unison by all the instruments, and many softer, gentler sections that are mixed in with the bold main theme to make this song so unique. There are also dramatic dynamic changes, such as going from forte, which is loud, to mezzo piano, medium soft. We have worked very hard over the past few months to perfect these elements, and we hope that you enjoy the piece Zarabanda.
Julie Genovese will introduce our next piece.
The next song that the S.M.S. Chamber Orchestra will play for you is the first movement of Vivaldi's Concerto in G major, Alla Rustica, arranged by Sarah DeCow. This song is full of flowing but strong melodies and a very driving bass part from the cellos. This song has a very energetic tempo and shows off the skills of the orchestra as a whole. This song is in the key of G major but has a section in G minor that brings different emotions into the song. Please enjoy this piece presented by the S.M.S. Chamber Orchestra.
Jen Hewitt.
I would like to proudly present a folk waltz, a lively and uplifting song that will bring joy and will make you want to stand up and waltz. A folk waltz was composed by Harry A. Alshan, based on a folk song from the 19th century. Waltzing is a famous type of dance that was used in old-time parties and is still popular now. This song is very fun to perform, so I hope you enjoy it.
Next up, I will call up the entire viola section to introduce this song, and you will see why.
Hello, thank you for coming to our spring concert. I'm Ellie, and we are the 4 violas in the 6th grade orchestra. The song we are about to perform is called Viva Violas, composed by Richard Meyer. Viva Violas is a fast-paced paso doble, which is a fast Spanish dance. Hi, I'm Natalia. Viva Violas features the violas as they perform as a group soli. A soli is a small group that performs a solo all together. During this piece, you will hear lots of tempo changes and trills. You will also hear 16th note runs. This piece starts in D minor and ends in G major. Hi, I'm Helena. Viva Violas is a song with the 3/4 time signature and switches to common time, or 4/4 later on. In this piece, we use a variety of dynamics ranging from piano, which is super soft or quiet, to fortissimo, which is very loud. In this piece, you will also hear a shift to third position. Hi, I'm Lauren, and Viva Violas is a 2-page song that has multiple codas, which are signs that you stop and skip ahead or behind in the music. The violas get a chance to glissando, which is when you move your finger up or down the string while keeping the bow in motion. Richard Meyer is a nationally recognized composer with over 190 compositions. Here is Viva Violas. We hope you enjoy.
Little Fugue. Little Fugue is an orchestra song majoring in the G minor. This piece was created by Johann Sebastian Bach. A fugue is a contrapuntal composition for a number of separate parts or voices. Each part enters in imitation of each other. We hope you enjoyed this piece.
Our final selection will be introduced by Rita Kresny.
The next song that we will be performing is Gargoyles by Doug Spada. Gargoyles are ancient, brooding stone protectors which are brought to life with a fury and flourish in this dramatic concert piece. We have been working so hard on our accurate articulations and dynamics. Thank you.
Introducing the first song, I would like to welcome up Ashton Clark.
Ahoy there, me hearties! Our next piece will take you back in time to the high seas of the Caribbean, where pirates battle for treasure and play fiddle. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be amazed as we journey through the epic battles and daring escape, all through the dazzling mystery of music. Unless you dare to walk the plank. Anyone? Any volunteers? Well then, ladies and gentlemen, I bring forth to you, Pirates of the Caribbean.
To introduce the next song, I'd like to call up Gianna Lopez.
Concertante is an exciting and powerful piece arranged by Elliot A. Del Borgo. It features bold melodies, strong rhythms, and movement. In this song, every section of the orchestra gets a time to shine. So if you hear a wrong note, know you did. The music moves through dynamic changes and tempo, creating a sense of intensity and motion. Each part of the orchestra has something important to contribute, making the piece feel like a musical conversation. It's a great piece to perform because it's both challenging and fun, and it really shows what the whole group can do together. I hope you enjoy the song Concertante. If it goes well, we'll pretend it was all planned, and if it doesn't, we'll call it a modern interpretation.
to introduce our final song, I'm going to call up Elizabeth Spano. I just want to say a quick thank you to you all for being here. It means so much that you support these amazing kids. It's been such a privilege working with each and every one of them pretty much every day this year, every other day this year. They're amazing, and they've become such a big part of my life. I'm going to miss the 8th graders so much next year. Can we stand up, 8th graders? Just give the 8th graders one more round. They're an amazing group. I will miss them every day, but I'm incredibly proud to be sending them to the high school where I know they're going to be so successful, and as they know, I'll always be in their corner if they ever need anything. I know we're almost done. I also want to quickly thank Mrs. Mangoni and Mrs. Bucciacharo, the Board of Education, Mr. Lefevre, my amazing music colleagues here in Somers who've helped me and inspired me so much. All of my amazing other teachers who are here today to support the kids who gave up their Wednesday night because they wanted to hear you guys play. And I know it's like you guys are playing for your own local celebrities, which is really special for them. So. Sorry about that, the mic got turned off. But you get the point. Thank you so much. This is an amazing community, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Now, Elizabeth, come on up.
Our next song of the night is entitled Tyrant's Overture by Elliot Del Borgo. This piece is bold and strong and gives every instrument a time to shine. This piece has challenged us to play together with precision. You'll be able to hear all different types of sounds such as plucking and harmonies. We hope you enjoy this piece just as much as us. Now we give you Higher.